Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, let's start off with the stuff we normally start off with. Current blood sugar is sitting at 7.3. I'm fully calibrated. I have no active insulin going in my body. Last night was okay. It was not straight line, but it was close enough. Had a couple of corrections during the night. The pump was doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's trying to act a bit more like your pancreas. So, if we move over, actually came out a little bit better than I thought. 93%. If you watched yesterday, you know I had a little bit of problem with some lows, so it's at 7, so this is telling me I have to watch out for the lows today. More than usual. 93% time in range, which is a win. Okay? Average sugar is also a win. It's at 6.9, which is telling me haven't broke 7 yet. But 6.9 for me, I feel better at 6.9. It'd be nice to have diabetes just back here. Instead of, hey, Mike, you're diabetic. Hey, you're diabetic. So back here is better. Today I want to talk to you about glucometer testing. Hence why I called it My Fingers Hurt video. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, glucometer testing is a pain. And even though I have an insulin pump with a sensor, got a clean screen there, I still need to do glucometer testing. I have to do it at least twice a day in order to calibrate your pump. So, these little things can get a little raw. I used to have, years ago, a doctor who would ask to see the tips of my fingers. I don't know, can you see that? Right there. To see if I was actually testing or not. This hand, you can see 2 fingers I sort of enjoy. I don't like using my baby or my thumb because they hurt. And I just realized I could do something about utilizing my baby more. Just something researching this video. So, your fingers hurt. Well, unfortunately for an awful lot of diabetics, we don't have an option. We have to test. Myself, I have to test at least twice a day. If I go low, I need more testing. This machine has taken away a lot of the trouble. It tells me my blood sugars are in use and are in use, what my blood sugars are throughout the day. If I need a precise measure, finger poke is the answer. There are some people out there, and there's nothing wrong with, that say, oh, my fingertips hurt. Well, let's take a look. Now, something I saw on the video was they say to rub the site until it gets warm. which was okay. I haven't tried that yet. And then try doing your blood draw there. Blood draw is when you use your lancet to pull out needles. Second of all, is quite an easy thing to do, but it can cause damage. And that is, I used to have a piece of string or an old piece. For those who are really old like me, you know that an earphone and you had the cord, I would wrap it around and put pressure on my finger, and I would use a blood sample. It was all good. That can damage your blood vessels in your finger. So don't do that. Try the rubbing of your finger till it gets warm. Don't use your center pad. That's where all your sensations are. Use the outside to draw the blood. It does actually work. It cut down my problem. And for years, I was on a computer for most of the day, and it really sort of helped. Now, some people told me, oh yes, use cream on your hands. Well, you don't need to use cream, because eventually that's going to interfere with your blood sugar. Trust me, they put sugar into anything. So, wash your hands. Notice I said wash. I'm not saying use any alcohol. If you use alcohol, you're just going to dry out your skin. And if you dry out your skin when you prick your finger with your lancet, it's going to hurt more. I'm going through a dry patch now. You can see it on my hands. So make sure you wash your hands. Alcohol will dry the skin. Yes, alcohol is great for cleaning the skin. I use it when I change my tubing on my pump, but for day-to-day fingers, don't use them. Second of all, make sure you use new equipment. Use a new lancet. Now, everyone's got a pen. Not an insulin pen, but a lancet pen. I think that's, or some, they're all called pens. That can be reused. The lancet, the little piece that goes into your skin, should only be used once. If you use it more than once, you're going to cause pain because it becomes dull. But everyone knows you can get away with 2 or 3. If you're having issues, you want to make sure you have a sharp lancet. So don't try to, how do I put this, reuse till it's barely at the nub. Doesn't work that great. Now, every lancet device comes with different ratings. For me, for most of my finger, I use a 5. It's comfortable to me, and that was just out of trial and error. Now, I mentioned at the beginning there was something I could learn that I didn't really use my finger or my thumb, and I don't know why it didn't come to me before. But if I could change the depth of the needle going in, it may not hurt those two. And I have 4 phalanges, fingers and thumb, to start utilizing better. It's like, God, Mike, that's common sense. Sometimes you just need to hit the old noggin. So we know now not to reuse lancets. We know to use the outside finger. If you have any circulatory system, try rubbing the site that you're going to give the shot just before you do it. Now, it also would help, I'm imagining, that wash your hands with warm water to allow the circulation to get to the extremities. The more that the extremities are, and that's why the rubbing could work, because keep rubbing it until it gets red and warm, because that means the blood's getting to the area. Boom. The pads should be free from your shots. For me, the pads really aren't an issue. If I accidentally do one in the pad, doesn't really faze me too much. But some of you it might. And if you're getting sore fingers from doing your finger tests, finger pokes, whatever you call them, doing your numbers, I've heard that before, then take the time, wash your hands, rub the site, put in a fresh lancet, and do your test. These things might help your test go smoother. Things to stay away from is wrapping your finger. Don't do that. Another thing is, people say, well, I kind of put my finger in ice water. Yeah, it just kind of will nullify the pain you really don't need to. I expect if you have the correct setting on your lancet device, and sometimes that just comes from trial and error. You can't sort of look at your finger and say, okay, I think it's going to be a 5. No, I think today I'm going to try a 3. Well, you could try all you want, but find the number that works best for you. Now, also, you may want to take a look at your lancet device. Settings on there differ from one lancet device to another. So ensure that you get it taken care of. Oh, sorry, my eye is itchy. Diabetes is a difficult disease. Getting your blood sugars in line will have to mean you will have to do glucometer tests. If this starts showing that I'm low, I usually will test with my glucometer to verify. A lot of times it's right, and that's just because the newer, better sensors. So, let's just do a quick review. Use a clean, new lancet. Wash your hands with warm water and try rubbing the site until it kind of gets a little red. You can also, one thing I did forget to mention, is you can use alternate sites, such as your arm. If you do that, you're going to have to, on your records, write somewhere or tell your doctor of the you're using an alternative location. Don't use alcohol on your fingertips. It's going to dry it out, and drier skin will hurt more. And with that, have a great day, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.